But I would like to explain to you my perspective, what the chakras are. Would you like to hear that? Because people don't, in my mind, fully grasp what they are, because they're trying to grasp what they are. You know, you've got to let go of that. And I've worked out what I think is quite a simple little tale, yeah, which allows us to build up an understanding of what the chakras do. It takes about 5–10 minutes, okay? So if you imagine modern mathematics now is geometry, pyramids, the buildings, it's all based on cylinders and circles and what have you. I just mentioned chaos and fractals. It's another type of geometry. And interestingly, the geometry that we've grown up with, Euclidean geometry, is the geometry of man-made things, the things that we make. And fractal geometry is the ability for us to observe how nature works. Yeah? Okay. So that was just an aside. The base chakra is what I'm talking about. The base chakra, people talk about the base chakra as being all about potential. Yeah? Potential. And if you actually get the geometry of the chakras in mind, what the base chakra would be signified by would be a dot, just a point, okay, one dimension. Now, if you imagine consciousness in one dimension, it's got no opportunity to reflect upon anything else. So it's just potential. Yeah, it's just a potential. Okay, now that's the base chakra, and the base chakra is all about grounding. They talk about survival, you know, fight or flight. Yeah, this point. But the next chakra is all about relationships and the family. So number 2 chakra. So the base chakra is earth and potential, and then the navel chakra, just below the belly button, is all about relationships, especially family. So imagine my geometry again. There's a little point full of potential, and he goes to see his mum and his dad and his sister and his auntie and his friends, and he's suddenly got spatial awareness. Yeah, because there's me and there's you over there. There's me and there's you over there. Now, ironically, the me doesn't know who I am yet, but it knows mum and dad and sister and brother and dog and cat. Okay, so this is 2D. The base chakra is 1D, the navel chakra is 2D, and the solar plexus is 3D. The solar plexus is when your little cartoon drawings come to life. It's us in this room. There's real people in here, sitting here, physical people, not just a drawing of you, but a physical person in 3D. And that is me, the point, full of potential, meeting my auntie and my sister and my mum and my dad and my friends. And then the very important first loop of life. This is the ego. This is the seat of self. So this is now me looking in the mirror and seeing myself and going, oh, that's Thornton, not that some bird tapping its head on the window. This is 3 still. And now remember I used the word 3D. Yeah? Now what's space? Space is 3D. Yeah? Okay, so the lower chakra is full of potential. The navel chakra has all the memories and all the stories about relationships. I'm constantly talking about relationships when I'm looking at this area in their biofields. This area is all about relationships. So now I'm self-aware. Okay, but we're all still frozen in space. Yeah? It's only when you have time. They talk about the space-time continuum, that this frozen space with this building and the cars out there and you sitting here on these chairs and gathered around, be frozen until we have time. Yeah? Time animates space. Yeah? And time, to me, is the heart chakra. So the lower 3 chakras govern and navigate space. So I can run over there, I can grab a glass of water, I can run up that street, I can go and get some food. That's my lower 3 chakras navigating me in 3D space. That's what they do, subconsciously. Yeah? If there's anything wrong with your spatial awareness or mobility, you'll find it imprinted also in those lower 3 chakras. Okay, now I said earlier the heart is time. Now remember that when the Greeks measured the heartbeat, you know, 1500, 2000 years ago, our average heartbeat was 60 beats a minute. This 85, 120, that's stress. That's modern living that's done that. A normal, healthy human being beats, their heart beats with time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everyone needs to go low blood pressure now because the modern environment, we've evolved. Don't get that wrong. I'm just saying historically, that's how we've evolved up through a slower heartbeat. And, you know, time speeds up, so does our heartbeat. Time speeds up, so does our heartbeat. Our heartbeat, you see, look, I'm standing on Earth, yeah? There's this concept of day, night, yeah? I go to bed, I get up, the sun goes away, comes back, la, la, la. But if we jumped off Earth, just one leap, all of us here, just leap, pew, a few miles, it'd be one long sunny day. There's no day, night. It's immediately a different concept of time. Time is because we're stuck here on Earth. And in fact, the chakras that I mentioned so far, the lower 4 chakras, they act like gyroscopes. So that though I'm here, standing on this ball that's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, you know, within a solar system which itself is charging towards the constellation of Hercules at God knows what speed, we feel still. That's incredible. Our chakras are doing that. So what I'm saying is that the lower 4 chakras help us navigate and experience space-time, which is what we're all doing in here now. And a lot of people in the world, that's all they ever get to experience. They're human doings, office workers, guys that don't think much. They do their thing, they go get their food, they watch some movies, they sleep, they have a routine. That's what they do. They don't have cosmic thoughts. They don't think to go help the guy down the road. They just don't go beyond the space-time continuum. Yeah. Now, I was alluding earlier that many studies have now been conducted, some published, proving distant healing. And I was mentioning an example, ironically, one of our colleagues here is a body talker, and this was one of the senior body talkers who I did the distant healing study with. It was for the International Society, the Study of Subtle Energy and Energy Medicine conference a few years back. And we did a study where 10 people were in our lab in India, and the healer was in America, and we catalogued the healing process they went through, and it was incredible. And that's just one of many studies that have been done. So how does that work? Well, healers operate a triage between their throat chakra, communication, their brow chakra, their intuition, their scanning, their ability to conscious scan, and their crown chakra, which is the source of the energy required for this extraterrestrial experience. I mean, extra body experience, extra corpus experience. So this triage occurs beyond space-time. The lower 4 chakras are managing and are limited. So when people are saying, hey, we're going into 5D world, or, you know, we're moving out of duality. I don't know whether you saw that picture I posted recently. It was a beautiful, very simple picture. It was a picture of a yin-yang. And someone had shown that when you look at a yin-yang flat like a pancake on a piece of paper, it looks like the 2 dots are side by side. But the yin-yang is actually a toroid. And so this concept of good, bad, this yin-yang to me as a kid was like duality. It was like the dance of Shiva and Shakti. It was like, it's okay, this duality, but it's an illusion based on a flattened geometry. So what we're saying now in the current age is that we're able to appreciate more and navigate more these dimensions by understanding the kind of thing that I've just explained. Because that's really simple and juicy. It allows me here in my throat to be beyond space and time. Yeah, that data can be recorded and it can be dug up in some pot in 2,000 years and read fresh as if I uttered it just now. And so healing occurs when people are able to hold a space which allows for that potential to not be stuck or frozen in space-time. So it's able to be more fluid. And we're observing that with Biofield Viewer. Now, I